So folks, and with that, welcome to this new video, and today with a somewhat spicier topic. This is not often talked about because it doesn't always have to be made public. Today we are going to talk about the topic of creating your own products and of course the related topic of relabeling products. In connection, for example, if you have your own YouTube channel or an online shop and then simply bring your own products to market, who is it worth it for? Is it a real added value? And Sebastian, why have you not, since you've been there, not brought any of your own products to market? We will take a closer look at these questions in the video today. Today, a bit of talk from my side, which means sit back. The image will not change now as I just want to give my statement on this. Let's start with the first important point so we can all get to a certain basic level. You know all the car care products, you know all the brands, there are different categories and so on. And I believe you have also noticed that, of course, in the last months and years, more and more products are being added, more and more new brands and so on, and yet another brand. And then there is the addition that people who are in the public eye, let's really say Instagram, YouTube or TikTok or whatever, suddenly bring their own products to market. And you should always imagine this word own with quotation marks, because this thing is really very, very simple. Nowadays, it is really very, very easy compared to many other things. To bring your own products to market, you need a bit of money, you need a few contacts, and then you can actually set the whole thing up without any problems. First with a few products, with the basics, and then you naturally try to expand it further. And there has always been the question from you, Sebastian, why don't you make your own products? Why not create your own shampoo? I would even buy that. So I really had people who asked, Sebastian, if you did that, I would get it. Simply also to support you. And I had to keep denying it. And I will now tell you in the first topic block why I simply do not do this and have not planned it or even thought about bringing out my own shampoo, my own spray sealant, my own insect remover or whatever. Quite simply. And that is, there are the manufacturers who practically offer this transformation. And you can basically call there, build contact, and then for a certain sum X, and then you can, for example, have different formulations sent to you by this manufacturer. Let's just stick with the example of shampoo. Simply and roughly explained, you build contact with the filler, so to speak. You say, I want to bring a shampoo to market. Then you also need to plan a few things beforehand. Should it be pH neutral? Should it be alkaline? Should it be acidic? These are all things you need to consider if you aim for something like that. This means you decide on a pH neutral shampoo and ask the manufacturer. He simply sends you a few formulations. It is really the case that there is a kind of modular system for many. That means you either go there and it is shown to you on site, or you might receive a small case or a small package sent home which contains different concentrations of shampoos. And in addition, you might also receive various fragrance directions that you may have selected beforehand, as well as different colors. That means you can create a pH neutral shampoo that is supposed to have a green color and smell like kiwi. So the only thing you still need to take care of is that you have to pay for the whole thing. And then, of course, you also need to ensure that a label is put on it. This also involves a few things, such as graphic design, texts, and so on. The description texts need to be included. That does require a bit of work. However, much is already pre-made. For example, the safety data sheets can be directly relabeled in your variant by the manufacturer. And that is a service that many manufacturers offer, and it is not at all reprehensible if manufacturers do this for smaller, private labels. They simply provide the products so that they can launch their own brand. That's just how the system works. Overall, it's not such a difficult process. And especially with chemicals, it's relatively easy. You can start with just a few products and don't have to invest 50,000 or 100,000 euros upfront. Of course, you can also launch a full range right away. But most people naturally try to feel their way a bit and see how it goes. And now let's get to the point. What if you have your own YouTube channel? And why haven't I done that yet? You take a recipe from a manufacturer who provides it to you, so to speak. You can clarify a few details, saying you want it to be more towards high quality. I would like a pH value of 12.5, 13. Could something be done about that? You can wish for a bit of leeway. You can request that, but you are not in the lab yourself tinkering with different surfactants and creating mixtures for months to conduct many tests on various soiled vehicles. Let's stick with shampoo to find the perfect formula. And that is exactly the point. This topic of self-development, or I have worked on it for months or years, if that is the case, then you can certainly show it to people like that if you have really worked on it. You can show a development or the development area of your company. You can show the production or whatever. But if you only take formulations from a filler, which have been slightly adjusted with color, scent, and whatever else, which is completely versatile, then there is nothing of any self-development. If you now say, I would like my shampoo to smell like mint, then that is not self-development. It's just a configurator, like when you configure a car. In the end, the quantity counts and everything that goes with it, and then there is a price. Then you can have the empty bottle sent home, stick your own label on it, or use a labeling machine, or you can have it done completely as a package. That works too. You receive your products fully labeled, printed, and all stuck on large Euro pallets. You come home, and then you can of course resell the whole thing. But that has nothing to do with self-production at all. For me, that also has nothing to do with self-development. And that's just a point. I don't even have the opportunity to further develop something chemically if I am not active in this area of chemistry. That means if you run a YouTube channel or, for example, an online shop, and on the side, you are also into chemistry and operate your hobby lab, creating new formulations and then going to a manufacturer and saying, hey, can you mix this for me on a large scale? Is that something different? I haven't seen it that way so far, because we always have the case that people just go there and it is simply configured together. And that has nothing to do with self-development. And now the biggest point of why I don't do that, you effectively provide no added value for the customers, for the community. That means if I were to sell you a spray sealant in my name, it would definitely have to be better for my standards than what is already on the market. But that is not feasible at all. You cannot, if you don't have a research team, no development, no production to first produce it, to create prototypes, you have no way of getting anything from the manufacturer that is better than their own formulations. Because they will never give you their secret premium formulations. They will at most give you what they have in their offer. And in terms of the strength of the product, it is at most on the same level. No manufacturer will release a better formulation than the one they themselves offer on the market. Because at the latest, when it comes to a public comparison and the relabeled product is better than that of the main manufacturer, it makes no sense at all. So it is also the case. No matter which manufacturer, let's be clear, folks, no matter which manufacturer you inquire about here, I can go to ADBL and say, hey, can you make me a synthetic spray wax in detailing school design? Can you do that for me? Can you make me a shampoo? Can you fill that for me? So 1,000 pieces or something like that with my face on it, with the Detailing School logo or whatever. The only problem I have is that there is no added value for the vehicle at all. The only added value that arises is for me, because I hopefully can sell it. And that's why it has no added value for me at all. Because you would never get a better product than what is already there. And that would be extremely uncomfortable for me. That means you get a pH neutral shampoo from me with Detailing School. Some nice color, great scent, and in the end, the performance is completely equivalent. Hopefully, it can keep up with the best. Maybe you also have a bit higher consumption because, of course, the formulation is a bit worse than the original. And that would just be embarrassing for me. In the end, you still have to calculate. You still have to sell it. Buying and selling means your price, in rare cases, is better than what it costs to get it from the main manufacturer. That is my very personal opinion. It just makes you look ridiculous. And that is exactly the point why I simply do not do it. It is no added value for you because having my logo on a bottle, is that an added value for you? Would you buy a product for that reason? And that's where everything comes together. You don't have the opportunity to bring any super cool innovations to the market because you are dependent on the main manufacturer anyway. Then you naturally have to adjust the prices so that it is still somehow profitable. You have to keep your small business afloat somehow. And these are all factors that led me to decide to never do that. Because I have tried so many products and we have reached the performance limits of many products where I ask myself, where can a rebranded product still offer any added value? And the market is full of rebranded products. There are brands that have nothing to do with car care at all. They might be in the clothing business, or it might be a personal online shop that says, I'm now launching my own rim cleaner. I'm launching my own glass sealant. €0 invested in any research and development. Maybe got 3 or 4 bottles with 3 different formulas, tested for 3 months, decided on Formula 3, added color, put on a label, and done. In my personal opinion, that offers no added value at all. There has been zero engagement put in, only into the label design and ultimately into marketing, to then say, hey, I have my own products, my staff, that's not my style. That's why you won't find your own shampoo from me. You won't find your own spray sealant. You also won't find a ceramic sealant from me with Detailing School on the front. It's just complete. It's fabricated nonsense. It's just total nonsense. And the worst part is yet to come. You follow. Let's go back to my channel. You have been following my channel for many, many years. In October 2016, I started uploading my first video somewhere by the roadside about the seat topic. I was still very active in the seat forum. I initially uploaded a video just for fun for the seat community. That's how it all started. And if you think about it, you have been with me all this time for years. And now imagine if I were to come next week and say, hey, now the Detailing School Detailing Car Care series is coming out. Glass cleaner, airport cleaner, glass cleaner. You would shake your head and say, Sebastian, what's wrong with you now? It would immediately start with bringing my own products to market to make money, using the reach to simply generate financial income. And that is exactly the point. And from this perspective, since there can be no added value at all, it is 3 times as pointless to do something like that. Because I have always maintained the point that I want to look at different brands and simply be a recommendation channel for you. I want to compare different products for you, take many things into long-term testing for myself as well. Also incorporate your opinions, your experiences, and maybe check back on things where you say, hey, I found a cool shampoo. Sebastian, take a look at this. That's how I make a living. And Andreas does too, for example. And Andreas has also brought many new ideas into our community and many product recommendations. Soft 99, Waterblock Super Splash, Stiana Close First. I believe I brought in FX Protect Gravity. Then we have many, many other things. Infinity Wax Turbo 6. These are all things that have also come into this community with Andreas. And that is what makes this channel special, that we simply test and try out many, many things for you. If my product is only as good as the current top, but is more expensive and has my face on it, then it's clear from the start what it's about in the market. Because in the end, you just want to make money with it. Because you want to extract the maximum from the viewers. No one needs to come and say, this product has never existed before and I want to create something completely new. That's complete nonsense, because the manufacturing process of such a product is completely transparent. Anyone can have something made with a little money. There are so many sources where you can do that. And that's why I always find these stories incredibly reprehensible when someone says, I worked on that glove for a year, I worked on that drying cloth for a year. You didn't work on the drying cloth for a year. You simply had 3 or 4 test samples sent from different manufacturers, chose the best one, then negotiated a bit financially with that one, and then you had your cloth with your label, which you might have designed yourself or had designed. Where you also spent money again, then you sent it, for example, as a cloth to Korea or China and had it manufactured. And you can do all that, but then don't say, hey, I worked on that for a year, I've been tinkering with it for over a year and such nonsense. That's complete nonsense. And the same goes for chemistry. We will come to another point that I find incredibly critical and very reprehensible when products have been relabeled, which, as we just noticed, doesn't really create a huge added value, and then tells his customers, hey, if you want to use the product, you have to take a certification course with me. That's the absolute height. This means that the person who gets certified for these products to be able to use them, even though they might have already done so with the main manufacturer, and that means getting another certification for this relabeled product. This means you could actually say, hey, who made your products? But I have already gotten a certification for his coatings, which are also sold. Why should I now get another certification for the relabeled products, which cost more money, so that you can process it and be elevated to that level? That's really absolute cheek. So this is really the ultimate height of how one can really squeeze the maximum out of this wet cloth in terms of money and the hope of somehow being able to live off it or getting rich. That's just a method that I do not support it at all and would never choose it. And that's why I packaged the topic into a video, because it also reflects my complete opinion on it. Also a very clear statement here that such things will not come with my name. Money can flow endlessly. I don't care at all, because I know that it destroys much more and offers no added value. And that is exactly the point why I prefer to say, hey, I test the different products. I look at all the things for you. I give you recommendations. You can support the channel. You can use the discount code or not. You can also use my recommendations and then, for example, not buy from our partner at Wash Guru Shop. That's completely up to you. I am not forcing you to do anything. And that's why I told myself I will test all these products for you, give you my experiences with them, compare them as well, try to incorporate your product wishes. But as soon as I would have my brand associated here, that would also be, I would completely lose credibility, because you naturally approach things differently. If my own products were here, I would always approach a comparison test. Differently, I would always say, oh, my product isn't that good. I'd rather remove that category because it doesn't look good there. And if my product only ranks fourth while the others are third, second, and first, then no one would buy my product. That means my entire credibility, my last statement on this, as soon as you launch your own products, you automatically compete with all other products from all other manufacturers that also offer these products. We are talking about polishing pad manufacturers and shampoos, for example. As soon as you manufacture your own products, you automatically compete. In my opinion, you are no longer capable of making fair judgments regarding comparisons. You are completely untrustworthy when it comes to results, long-term experiences, which are of course just edited experiences. And that's why that will never happen with me, because I would completely destroy all the work I do with that. It wouldn't make any sense anymore, because you can no longer judge freely. And that is a very, very important point. So keep your eyes open, see what you might bring home. If you have questions on the topic, I have a bit more insider knowledge. I don't want to tell anyone here, hey, this one is filling from that one and that one bought from that one. You can see that very, very easily. You just have to look at the people who sell these products under their name, and then you can relatively quickly see whether that person has their own production facility or development or whatever. You can actually form your own judgment after 3 minutes of research. And with that, I thank you for your attention. I look forward to your feedback. Until next time, yours, Sebastian. Bye.